Hello, guys. Welcome to Paint Night. It's Amy from Amy Parker Art and founder of Creative Warriors. So, we are going to paint some robin's eggs in a bird nest. Oh my God, it's so cute. Cheers to you. Drinking coffee, trying to wake up a little bit. So, welcome, welcome. Go ahead and get your paints ready. We are, like I said, we're going to be painting a bird's nest. And the robin's eggs are this gorgeous, beautiful blue. Oh my gosh, they're so pretty. Sort of like a teal color, actually. So I might actually use some teal with that. So all I use for paint nights is just these apple barrel paints you can get right at Walmart. That's what I typically use anyway. So I'm going to be painting on a multimedia paper tonight. I grabbed this pad at Walmart and it's a Master's Touch mixed media. You guys know sometimes I paint on the other thicker one, the Canson one that I really love as well. But that one is kind of running out of paper here. I got a few more left, but I figured I would just try this new pad out like I did last week for paint night. Using my palettes, which are basically just the foam dinner plates. I like these because they really hold the paint in pretty well. And I just keep reusing it because I'm like that. I don't want to waste. I don't want to waste. I want to keep reusing. So anyway, I am doing a premiere once again. So hopefully you can see me and hear me okay. And I'm going to give this premiere another shot. So I'm looking over here at my reference photo and we're going to start painting away. Just kind of winging it, see what happens here. And yeah, we'll get going. So the bird's nest was actually a picture I took from my own bird's nest of the amazing robin's eggs that the robins made a nest on the side of my shed, and it's a pretty cool picture. So I figured that we would recreate that. So I'm going to start off by using a little bit of yellow. I'm just using the bright yellow here, and I'm going to be using a flat brush, and then just get some, just going to get some color on here. So let's see, we're gonna use a little yellow. The side of the shed was yellow, so and it looks kind of cool with the eggs, so I figured I would do that. You guys can make yours any color you want if you want to put like a background color on there. So just trying to get my colors together here. So I'm gonna use that. I'm also gonna want to have a little medium, so I'm just going to be using my basic fluid matte medium here. Oh, I just like squished that all over the place. So my matte medium, and we always want to have a little black and white, so I'm going to load up some of that. A little bit of black right there. Do a little bit of white for some different tones. Hope you're all doing well tonight. Hopefully you've had a good week. I'm going to also be using my two different colors of brown that I like. So I don't even know if this one is open. Yep, it is. So this one is my lighter one, my nutmeg that I'm going to use here. My nutmeg. So get a little bit of that on. And then for my darker brown, we will be using the burnt umber. And if you guys don't have all these colors, just use whatever colors you have. You can just kind of mess around. This is just like a fun little paint night. I don't go into like extreme detail or anything like that while we get these paintings for Tuesday night. It's just like something fun for us to do together. All right, so I'm going to take, like I said, my flat brush. And this one looks like a 1-inch flat. Could use a 2-inch as well, but just kind of moving brushes around here. So my jar of water I have over here, as well as my paper towels to wipe my acrylic paints on. So I'm going to load up some white. I mean, I'm sorry, some yellow with maybe a little bit of white in there just to kind of thicken it up a little bit. And I'm a pretty quick, fast painter. I'm just going to kind of drag this down like so. And we are going to be painting our nest on top of this yellow color. See how it comes out. It's pretty bright, pretty bright. And I'm not really too concerned about it. Got a little hair in there, probably a cat hair, because you guys know Kirby likes to lay all over the place here in my studio. I'm picking up a little more white now with my yellow. So yellow and white, just trying to get like what color I like here. What color I like. I mean, the yellow is, like I said, bright, but you can calm it down by just putting a little bit of white in there if you want to. And I'm trying to paint right on my pad. I don't know how this is going to go. I feel a little weird, like when I get to the tops, because I don't want the paint to kind of go inside all of the sides of the papers. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I guess I'll wing it and see. Usually I take the piece off and I tape it onto my cardboard right here. We usually paint on that, but I'm just going right with the pad tonight and seeing what happens. So yeah, you can just go ahead and fill up a color. Like I said, I'm just using yellow, bright yellow, and some white. And this is going to just give it a little bit, well, kind of a lot. It's pretty bright, giving it a background, um, a little, look to the background here. And just loaded more white so I can kind of lighten that up a little bit. So just pick whatever color you would like and go for it. You can pick the same color I have. That's fine. Doesn't matter. But it is your painting, you're creating. So I'm just here to kind of walk you along, give you some little, pointers and tips, and just have fun together and create something amazing. All right. So when you guys pop on, say hello, and you probably already are because this is a premiere. So the premiere means that I'm just recording it beforehand, but I'm going to be with you as it is streaming. So I can still talk to you in the comments, answer your questions in the comments. Actually, I can do that faster than when I'm just streaming completely live without a premiere, because you guys know that sometimes that gets a little tricky. All right, so now in my shed, I'm going to actually use the same brush, and I'm just going to pick up a little bit. Do I want to do brown, or do I want to, you know what? I think I'm going to pick up some black and mix it with my black and my yellow together. It's kind of a weird color, but I'm just going to make some lines down just so that it kind of looks like, looks like some little slats sort of on the shed. Now I am just pressing ever so lightly with this. And as you can see, my slats aren't even really picking up the lines all the way down, just a little bit here and there. And that's fine. That's what I want. I don't want to make it like really dark, bold colors there. I just wanted to just kind of give the illusion that there's some boards going down here. And if Tim was home, he actually built the shed. He could tell me what kind of boards those are, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a builder. I'm just a painter. Hee hee. Hopefully you guys have a hubby wubby that's a good builder as well. All right, so that's kind of our background. If you need to hit it with a blow dryer at this point, go for it, because we are going to paint in the bird's nest right here. We're going to do like some sticks, and basically the robins made a nest that was in a uh, what is it called? A wreath that I made out of sticks. It was like the vine wreaths that you can make, right? I have a ton of vines out here. Do you guys have a bunch of vines at your house? Um, I know I have them. They crawl all over the place. I can't even remember the name of them, but they're kind of invasive, and they get make sure you throw this out when you get to. I had too much color all over this, so I got to get a new paper towel. But anyway, the vines, they grow like crazy, and I love to make just, vine wreaths and then just throw in whatever I want for flowers and stuff like that to stick on my door. And Beth's really good with that stuff too, my sister Beth. So her and I made some together one year when she came up. But anyway, that's what I did. And I hung it on my shed, and then the birds made a nest inside of it. So it was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, we're going to actually stay with this brush right now, which is just a 1-inch flat. And I'm going to try and get some branches going. Now I want to do like some darker branches and some lighter branches. So actually I see a little bit of red color in some. So I'm gonna, and I'm almost out of yellow, a little reddish, a little orange. Kind of, I'm talking to myself right now, but I'm gonna put out of yellow. So I'm gonna load up a little bit more yellow. If you have orange or like a rust color, you can use that. If not, you can just use the red and yellow to mix that kind of color. But there's like a little kind of orangey rust kind of color looking in what I'm seeing on my example photo. So I might use that. So that's why I loaded those colors up. All right. So we're going to try and get some dark colors going on here first. So I'm dipping into my burnt umber and my black, still using that 1 inch that we've just been using, the flat brush. And I literally like kind of one corner in, another corner in. So we got like black and dark brown on there. And we'll just start making some little, some little lines around here. Now there's no real right or wrong here. Like I said, I made this wreath. So I'm kind of like mimicking like sticks on the wreath and kind of go like around in some different, some different ways here. So it doesn't have to be perfect because sticks are not perfect. And this is going to be like a close-up. So I'm not going to paint the entire wreath on here. It's going to be like just a close-up of some parts of the wreath. And I'm pressing down harder, obviously, than I did on these little slap pieces because I really want this to come out. So this is a good example of if you press harder with a brush, what can happen. And I'm really loading the paint on. Like this is a lot of paint on here. And as you can see, like this line is super long. I want some lines long, some lines shorter, just so it looks like, it gives the eye something different to look at. So our wreath isn't all looking the exact same. And I'm turning my brush different ways. I'm still kind of going around in a circle, but I'm just moving it like some different ways so that it will add a little more interest. So hopefully you guys like this, and this technique is kind of cool. All right, so we're just going around and around. This part here, I want to make sure that I get some real dark, a couple dark thick lines right under here. This is like where the nest is going to be. So I'm using my black with just like a touch of, using my black with just like a touch of that burnt umber. So I'm still using like the same colors, but mostly black with a little bit of brown. On this section, I use mostly brown with a little bit of black. So we're just kind of, mixing up the ratio of paint that we're using. I'm making shorter, quicker lines right here, like around the top. And then on the bottom, they're a little bit thicker. So I'm using the chiseled edge of the brush sometimes, and sometimes I'm like kind of angling it a little bit more so the branches are thicker. All right, so basically don't get frustrated. Just kind of like play around and see what you like, see what's happening. And please feel free to just go ahead and ask me anything you want. I can reply back on the comments. And, like I said, this is a premiere, so it's not going to be, you're not going to hear me calling out your name right now, even though I know I probably could call out names and just kind of guesstimate who is here because I know who usually hanging out with me for paint nights. But anyway, so we just kind of got those going on. And I am going to switch up colors here in a moment. Now I'm just trying to get, like I said, trying to get some dark stuff going on here. And you can hit it with a blow dryer if you need to anytime you want. That's a great thing about acrylic paints too. And they dry pretty fast. So I'm going to kind of leave that for a second. I'm rinsing off my 1-inch brush, and then I'm going to pick up some lighter browns so that we can put some lighter browns sticks over on top of this, because we want to have like some darker sticks and some lighter sticks going on here. Say that 10 times fast. All right, so I'm going to grab my nutmeggy cinnamon color, whatever the heck it is, nutmeg or cinnamon. I'm just gonna go straight with this and see what see what happens for a second. I don't want to cover. Oh, I do like that. I'm just gonna go straight with that color. I do like that. I think it looks really cool. So we don't want to cover over every single thing that we did. Find a few spots that are like open, and then put some lighter branches in like that. And just, once again, make some shorter, some longer, uh press harder on some and then lighter on others. Like, I really like how this yellow is peeking through right there on that little spot, so I'm going to leave that. So if you see something in your painting that you're like, oh my god, that looks so cool, then just don't paint over it, just leave it. You don't have to have every single line exactly like mine. Once again, I'm just using the straight, like, lighter brown color that I have. It's like a nutmeg color. At least that's what it says, I think. Let me just double check. Sometimes it's cinnamon. No, this one's a nutmeg. All right, and it's just like the apple barrel paints. So yeah, just look around and see what you're liking, and just add in a little bit of this lighter color in a few places. Do do do. So here's the wreath, and then the nest is going to be like inside here. All right, so now I'm gonna kind of pick up some more of that nutmeg, and I touched in a little bit of burnt umber with that, and I'm gonna try some white. I want to see what this color does. I want to see what that does, because it's going to give like oh yeah, that's cool. So it kind of just gives like a little bit of highlight to some of the sticks in here. And I do like that. So we don't want to highlight everything, but I'm just kind of going around just to give a little different, different tones in here of our sticks. And you just put them wherever you think looks cool, right? Just kind of move around your little circle. And as you can see, my sticks are going all over the place, and that's what you're supposed to do. So this is a fun painting because you can kind of go wild and make some go up, some go down. And as long as we still have kind of the circle shape going on, we're good. We are good. All right, so once again, that color that I just mixed was mostly like the nutmeg with a tiny bit of the burnt umber and a little bit of white. And that's how I got kind of this highlighted color in here. Hopefully you can see that okay. So that's how I got that. All right, so now we are going to start on our bird nest. All right, so I'm going to change brushes here because I'm just rinsing this one. I'm just tapping it on the bottom of my jar, just rinsing this one, moving this. Actually, I need some more paper towel. You guys, when you dry your brushes, you should kind of just lay them flat like that on your paper towel, okay, after you rinse them off so that they can dry nicely. All right, let me pick here because we need to get we need to get some different tones going on as well for our bird nest. So let me just see. I am going to use my round brush. This one is a size 8, I believe. 8, yeah. So I'm just going to use this round brush, size 8. And I am wetting that and just kind of dragging it and twirling it like that on my paper towel. And we're going to mix up like a, what do I want to do first? A dark, sort of like a darker, and then we'll do a lighter. All right, so I'm going to mix a little bit of orange, so a little yellow and red together. And then I'm going to grab this nutmeg. So yellow and red in that nutmeg color. And I'm going to see if I like that. Actually, this brush might even be too big. You know what? I think it might even be too big. We'll try a little bit, but I think I might switch to an angled brush. Sorry, but that's just how I roll, people. All right, so I'm just going to kind of go back and forth. And first of all, I'm going to kind of make some dots, right? Because our eggs are going to be like right here. So I'm just going to kind of make like a little circle. I don't want to make just straight circle because I don't want you to look at it and be like, oh my God, that's a circle she just painted in. So I'm just kind of like making dots kind of around it for a circle. Once again, orange, yeah, some orange, or if you want to mix it, the red and yellow and a little bit of that nutmeg color, the light brown. And I'm just going to go, now that I made that little circle orange of color in here, I'm just going to kind of go back and forth quickly, holding my round brush like kind of straight up. And we're basically like filling this in with like different lines through here. Oh, I picked up a little bit of that burnt umber by accident, but that's okay. That looks cool. I like it. I love happy accidents. You know, Bob Ross used to say that all the time. Who loves Bob Ross? I mean, I don't know if anybody could actually love Bob Ross more than me. I mean, he's just so completely very awesome. And I just grew up with Bob Ross. Who else did? I just loved watching him. And I'm so psyched that I have him on the Roku. Do you guys still have like, you have the painting channel? Got to check it out, especially if you have Roku. Check it out. All right, so just kind of underpainted that with the round brush. But now I'm going to rinse off my round brush. I'm going to try using the actually, I don't know if that one's going to be too big. No, that one might be all right. I'm just going to use an angled brush. Use this one, which is a 1/2 inch angled, but you can even go smaller than that if you want. What is smaller? Help me out. Is it 3/4 or is that bigger? Because you know what? I think I've been saying 3/4 for smaller, and I'm just not very mathematical. So hopefully I was saying it right. So I'm going to wet this round, the flat angled brush. And I'm going to just kind of go around and through here with some darker and lighter tones. But we want this nest to have smaller pieces than this whole outside of the nest and then this whole wreath that I initially made, right? Because the birds made it with like little tiny like little pieces of grass and just little tiny sticks and stuff. So that's why I'm moving to a smaller brush and kind of using that. You could also, if you're nervous to use this, you could also just use a, smaller detailed brush. That one's kind of crappy. Let me get another one. You could use just like a smaller detailed brush like that, but and it's fine. It's just going to take you a while, but that's all right. I mean, you guys can, take your time on your painting. I know I'm kind of going through it pretty quickly here on paint night, but you most certainly can just mess around with it even after we're done and just add more detail with, the detail brush after. But all right, I'll stop like just blabbing here and kind of get to the point. Don't forget, you can still ask me questions. I'm going to be right here on the computer looking at all your questions, answering your questions right now while we are painting. Okay. So go ahead and do that. No problem. If you're just joining us, thanks for being here. You can touch the video, click the notification so you can get notified when we are live. And I do this every Tuesday night, paint with you guys. Okay, so now we're going to pick up a different color. I'm going to pick up a little, do I want to do a little more brownish first, maybe? I think I want to pick up a little of the umber, and I'm going to do some white. So umber, the darker brown, and some white, because that's going to give us like a different kind of look in here, I think, anyway. So I don't want to cover all of this tone, but I'm going to put some darker pieces, just like we made this big thing, kind of back and forth all over the place. I'm doing pretty much the same thing with a smaller brush. I just don't want to hide all of that beautiful color that we just put down with like the orange. And I'm just trying to quickly touch down and drag, and really make sure that that brush, you wipe it back and forth on your palette to really get that flattened out so you have a chiseled edge there to work with. And, you know, the harder you press, the thicker the lines are going to be, and the lighter you press, the thinner the lines are going to be. So it's your bird nest. You just go ahead and create it however you want. Not that you actually made a bird. You guys know what I mean. It's not like you're a bird and you made a nest. We're painting here. Hello. But you know what I mean. It's hard to talk and paint, but you know, you guys bear with me. I'm doing the best that I can here. All right. So I'm just trying to get, like I said, a different tone, and we want to get some dark kind of going on in here like so. All right, that looks cool. It's looking pretty neat. Now I'm going to switch over to get like a lighter color in here for our actual nest. It's kind of cool. The birds like made this like round big chunk, and then they made another little piece inside to keep the eggs nice and soft. And you guys would absolutely scream, probably like I did, if you knew what happened to the eggs. But oh God, it's really a sad story. But all right, I better tell you because I'm talking about it. So I looked at these eggs every day for as long as they were there. Every day I'd crawl up the ladder that Tim put there, and I would look at my eggs, and I was so excited. I'm like, oh my God, the robins have an egg. And then one day I was watching the bird nest, just checking it, and a crow came down and ate every single robin's egg. And then I started crying, and I called Tim. He was at work, and he felt so bad for me because, you know what, I'm such a nature lover, and I was just so mad. But anyway, that's just the circle of life, right? I mean, I guess the crows have to eat too, but I'm very, very glad that I can recreate this and then have these robin's eggs for as long as I want now. All right, so we're going to lighten this up. We already have that underpainting of yellow, which is cool because most of this, like straw looking stuff has some yellow tones to it anyway. So so that's cool. That's good. All right, so I'm gonna do a little yellow and the nutmeg and white. I'm gonna see what this looks like. And I'm still gonna add a little yellow in there. But, you know, I don't want to put too much yellow because the background, for me anyway, unless you painted yours different, the background is basically already yellow. So it's probably going to show up really good. Oh, yes, and it does. So now I'm using the same brush, that smaller angled brush. I'm just making little crisscross kind of strokes back and forth with that color. Once again, to remind you, we did the nutmeg with a little yellow and some white, and I'm running out of white, so hold on a second. I'm gonna have to put some more white in here. I know I will need that. So I'm gonna add a little more white in there, but we want the middle of our nest. I'm gonna bring this up so that you can see it a little bit closer for a second. We want the middle of our nest to just be lighter. So I'm touching down, kind of crisscrossing back and forth. Once again, you can make some shorter and some longer pieces like that. You can make some go like right out into the other colors and just kind of going all around this, right? We're just going to kind of make some crisscrossy circles all around here and fill this right in. This is what the little birds made to put their eggs right in here. I can see this may be a problem, my lines down here. So I'm going to just grab some yellow and just kind of, well, I thought that would work, but let me grab some white. I'm going to put a little bit of white right over I'm just going to kind of touch in here. Basically, it's like erasing with some white. Can you see what I did there? So if you have one of those lines going down there and you want to erase it, just put a little bit of white on it. It looks not so hot right now, but once it dries, you know, and I keep painting over it, it's going to cover that right up. Because, you know, we are painting a lighter color, this lighter brown that we made, trying to get like a, trying to get, like a straw kind of color. Um, and it's not going to cover over black very well. So yeah, so we just kind of want to do this all around here into a circle, you know, and tighter in as we get closer in, and bring a few of these pieces, like I said, right out into your other section here, so that it looks like the birds weaved it right in there, because they did. So we want some of those to kind of come out of the sides like that. And let me see if I can paint over. Yeah, that's good. I can kind of paint right over that now. That's neat. You know, I could spend more time on this after and, you know, really doctor up that piece, and if I needed to, I probably will later, but I just wanted to show you that little trick on how you could like erase it by just painting a little bit of white. When you get in the middle, just kind of crisscross back and forth. That's all. Just crisscross it back and forth. And we really want to fill this in pretty good. So if we just kept going and covered the whole thing with the crisscross, the same color, it would just look like we went like this right across it. We don't want to do that. So now, because we want that texture of the nest. So now we're just going to switch up our color a little bit. We're going to make like a different color, kind of crisscross in there to cover it up some more. Gosh, I still got another cat hair or something in there. Thanks, Kirby. Gosh, I love him. I shouldn't be saying that. But you guys know, I'm sure you're like that with your animals, especially if they jump all over your paintings while you're trying to create. Oh my goodness gracious. All right. So because this is so light, whoops, I think I'm going to just take a little bit of a darker color. I'm actually going to mix these two, mostly nutmeg with a little bit of burnt umber. Mostly nutmeg with a little bit of burnt umber. Same brush. Let me touch down and see how this is looking. I do like that, but I don't want to put too much dark on here. I'm touching down very lightly, you guys. I want it to be a little bit darker here on the bottom, so it looks like it's going to hold the eggs in. So a little bit darker here on the bottom. Nutmeg with a little bit of umber. And I'm just kind of even just touching down with the brush and then dragging a tiny bit. It's kind of how I'm doing that, making like just little lines. We don't want to cover up all the light. So that is kind of cool. Gave us like some different tones in here. But I want it darker, like right under here, because the eggs are going to be in here. Okay, so let me hold this up so you can kind of see what mine is looking like. Just like that. You guys can go crazy with this. You can paint it on canvas. You can, you know, like I said, paint different colors, experiment with different brushes or whatever. I'm just trying to give you a little, you know, a go-to and have fun on a paint night. Hopefully you guys are having fun. You have fun? Let me know if you are having fun. And like I said, too, if you want to work on it later, you can use your detailed brush. Even go crazy. Like sometimes, you know, in paint, we paint a lot of trees. You can do like little lines, like there's maybe a little stick in here. They're all sticks, but you can make like little, you know, like little branches here and there if you would like to do that. Okay, now we are going to go back to our round brush this time. We're going to go back to our round brush. This probably should be dry. If yours is wet, hit it quickly with a blow dryer, because we are going to underpaint. I wonder if this is too big. We're going to underpaint our eggs white, and then we're going to paint them teal. It's going to be awesome. I'm just looking for another size round brush. If I see if I might have one in here. I mean, I know I have them. I just, who knows where the heck they are. Got a handful of brushes here. And that one's too small. Let me see. Let's see, what about this one? What number is this? Oh, that one's an 8 too. Jeez, what the heck? I love the 8s. I love the 8s. But apparently I need to get some smaller numbers. Some smaller numbers as well. I love these big puffy ones. Oh my gosh. But we're not using that for this painting. But those are really good blending brushes. I know that Marcy was talking a lot about blending brushes, and we did a little bit with blending brushes. All right, well, I'm not going to just waste all of our time here looking for brushes. So I'm just going to go for it with the, one more look. That's probably an 8 too. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm totally into 8s. Oh no, I found some. Found some small. It doesn't matter what size you have, really, but I was just curious too. This one's a 6. And this one is, well, I'm blind, so I can't even see it with that. This one is I seriously can't even see. Okay, 3 and a 6. That doesn't look right. Oh, they're different brands. Dillaroni. No, they're the same brand. No, those look the same almost. Whatever. I'm going to use the green one and try that. See, I just skip over the numbers and say, let's use the green one. So just a small round brush. Okay, we're going to underpaint the eggs right now. And then we're going to want to hit that with the blow dryer as well. So we want to do straight white because we really want these eggs to pop and stand out. Now, just loading up the white on my round brush. And you can paint as many eggs as you want, but there's 3 eggs in this painting. So I'm going to start from the top and kind of pull down and making like that oval shape. And you're still going to be able to see through, at least on my painting, you can still see through the white. So I might have to put like another coat on it, but I'm just painting it thicker up here and then skinnier down here, just like an egg. And that's the way that one was. And then we have another one over here. And I know I'm painting on my dark, which is fine. We can kind of get around that. There's another one there. And then this one has 3. And there's another one here. So if you don't have to underpaint it, but if you don't paint it white first and we have all this color on here, you're going to have a hard time making that beautiful blue like pop out. So that's why I'm underpainting that. While that is drying, I'm actually going to take my detail brush and I'm going to put some darker, I'm going straight into my umber and black and umber. So dark brown and black, mixing this together using my detailed brush. And we're going to darken some, and I'm going to grab a little medium. Look at all this medium I put on here. I didn't even use it. Do you guys waste paint like me? Are you a heavy pourer like I am? All right, so I'm going to use the detailed brush while that's drying, and I'm going to paint around the eggs. I'm going to make some lines, and I still want to kind of mimic sticks, but I really, really want these to pop. So I want to get some dark color, like right in between the eggs. So I'm still painting it like in that motion of like this circle of the nest. but I really want to get that dark in there, because that dark, like I said, that's really what is going to make it pop. And right here, I'm kind of dragging, twisting and dragging in some spots with my detailed brush, kind of twisting and dragging. And we still want some light show through here and there. We don't want to make it all dark, but I'm just kind of going over a few pieces just so these eggs are going to pop right out. And I want mostly the dark on like the bottom part here of my eggs. So I have more dark down here than I do on the top section. And that is totally fine. Yours can be wherever you want. It doesn't matter. But anyway, you can already start seeing them like popping out a little bit. Okay, so I think that I'm going to need to even put another coat of white on mine, or it's really not going to pop out. So I'm going to grab my blow dryer and just hit that real quickly with the blow dryer and put another coat of white. So if yours is see-through, do the same thing that I'm doing right now. It's going to get loud for a second because I got a blow dry. But then use your round brush and just do another coat so that we can't see through the eggs. Then we're going to put that pretty color on there. Okay, one more coat of white. One more coat of white, because can you see? I'm not sure if you can see that it's still a little bit see-through. So I want to just add one more coat of white on this with my round brush, painting our eggs. Do, 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 do. Doesn't have to be perfect, just have to get some color. Can you guys hear all the sounds around here? Can you hear Yoda? He's actually drinking his water right now. And I don't have my window open, but literally my tree frog that lives in my pool is doing his mating call, doing the I don't know if you can hear that, but he is super loud. And it is just so cute. He's so adorable. I love my little tree frog. And if Linda, if you're on here, which maybe you are, because if you are, I'm probably already talking to you, but I remember she had a tree frog that lived in her birdhouse one year. Oh my gosh, what a riot. What a riot. All right, I'm going to hit this again, and then we are going to color these in, and they're going to pop right out. All right, so the eggs are like a blue and a teal kind of mix. But let me examine them for a moment and see what I want to do. What do I want to do? Okay, I think what we're going to do first is just do some straight teal. This is Caribbean. If you don't have a straight teal, or I should say turquoise, then you can mix it with like a blue and green and a little bit of white. That will give you kind of a turquoisey color. Okay, that'll give you kind of this color. Or you can just go straight blue. That's fine. I mean, robin's eggs are blue, but this one really looks beautiful, and it looks like it's teal. So that's what I'm rolling with. All right. So all we do now, fun part. This is so fun to take that round brush, just paint your eggs. Paint your eggs just like we did with the white, and just cover all that white with your teal color or your turquoise color. Then we're going to use the blue for a little bit of lowlights, a little bit of shading on here. And then we'll probably use a white to like put a little highlight on it after. Can you guys hear my tree frog? Oh my gosh. I don't know how good my sound is, so I'm not sure if you can hear him, but he is literally cracking me up. He's out there. He does that all night. I remember I called Estelle. I'm like, what is that sound? She's like, it sounds like a tree frog. And it was. All right, now I'm gonna take my bright blue. You can use a midnight blue, a bright blue. You can use a cobalt blue. It doesn't really matter, but I'm gonna just use the bright blue. Put a little dab of that in there. I'm gonna attempt to just paint wet on wet here, and we'll see how this goes. So I'm just loading the same brush up with a little bit of bright blue. And let me hold the eggs. Oh, the eggs. The painting up a little bit higher. See if you can see this. So I'm just gonna kind of put. Oh, that's too dark. Too dark. See, let me just try this out first before I hold it up. So I love the blue, but I'm gonna mix it with the turquoise. I'm mixing it with the turquoise now because that was too dark. Let me try this. Yeah, that's better. All right, so now I'm just doing like a little bit of kind of going around the egg. But now I want to I picked up a little more turquoise, and then I'm just kind of brushing it in there around that blue and turquoise that we put down. Picking up a little more little more turquoise. Okay, so do you see how I did that? Do you see that shading in there? So once again, I started off with way too dark blue because I went straight blue. But now I'm mixing, we'll do this again. I'm mixing the blue with the turquoise. Blue with the turquoise. And I'm just kind of going around the egg wherever you think that it needs to be shaded. You can do one side thicker, one side thinner. I'm going to do both of these. Around the egg like that. I'm going to darken this one a little bit more on the bottom like that. And then what I'm doing is I'm going straight into the turquoise. Pick up some turquoise because we don't want to look like we just took a marker around there. Then I'm going in front of the blue and then I'm going down into it kind of like that so that it kind of blends that shading right in there like that, like so. That is so gorgeous. I love that. Now we are not done. Hopefully you love yours. I mean, wow, it just pops. Looks way cool. Now I'm going to well, let me try and pull that out a little bit. There we go. Now I'm going to go I'm going to touch into my blue, and then mix that into the white so it's really, really like a light blue. So light. Oh, hold on. I got to plug my phone in or I'm going to die on you guys. So give me a second to do that because it looks like our battery's dying. Even though we're almost done, I still want to make sure that we get the highlights on here before the phone wants to die. Hold on a second. Let's get this in here. Hopefully that will start. Close. Now it's not saying it's charging, but it should be charging. All right, so I just touched a little bit into the blue, and can you see that really, really light blue that I made? It's like almost white. I'm going to take that color and then just put a couple of highlights in areas on my egg. It's actually even too, well, maybe not too light, but I need to blend that out. So you know what I'm doing? Wiping off my brush. I didn't wet it, but I wiped it on the paper towel so it's dry. Now I'm just dragging it right around that highlight that I put on there so we can kind of fan that highlight out a little bit. We want to fan that out just like that. Oh my God, that is so cute. Do not forget to sign it. Don't forget to sign. All right, well, I hope that you guys really love this. I think it's so awesome. I had super fun. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thanks for bearing with me during the premiere. Like I said, I'd be typing in the comments. I'm sure you could figure that out. We do paint night every Tuesday night. Cannot wait for you guys to join us again for next week. Listen, I'm gonna stop right now because like I said, I plugged my phone in, but it looks like it's not, I don't know, it's not in there right. I don't want the video to just cut out on you and you'd be like, where the heck did you go? So if you have any questions and we're done, go ahead and message me. That's totally fine. And yeah, can't wait to see you next Tuesday. All right, bye guys.